Water?
No. That's my water.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about SAT topics. This is our SAT topics.
I'm talking about you, boy.
Watch your language. We're gonna live stream.
Can I have
No.
You eat that?
Yes.
Really? I thought you like it.
Eat what?
Okay, we need to focus on this. Okay, so this is a very easy section, but in your SAT, you can move your seat if the iPad's on your way, and you can move your seat one, you can move up if you're in front if you want to. But I'm also recording a lesson, so if you are lost, so you go home, you still can have the lesson for you. Okay?
Subscribe to his YouTube.
Mr. Donald, yeah.
Okay, so this is YouTube.
Before we start the video, please hit like and subscribe.
He puts
I didn't put it on.
See how she do it? Oh god. DJ. Oh.
Okay, so this lesson will actually be online, so if you have senior skip day, you're not here today, so you still can watch it at home.
It's low-key senior and junior skip day.
Okay, so let's talk about SAT topic. The SAT topic as SAT, I can spell. SAT topic. So what are the SAT topics? Well, there's a Pythagorean identity,
Oh yeah, that.
which is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, and it has to be a right triangle A, B, and this side is always C. Does that make sense? Chris, can you make sure that they can see the whole
Yeah,
thing?
they can see it. They can't. They just can't see you.
Okay, that's okay. I'm not important.
So he pops up.
So A, B, C. C is always on this side. Okay. So one, if you want to move,
That's
can
like,
you
that
see?
says identities.
Yeah, identities. Okay. Now there's a Pythagorean triplets.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Triplet. What are those triplets? Well, triplet means a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. They are integers. And those integers are very common on SAT. Is the first biggest one on SAT is 3, 4, 5. Think about 3 squared is what?
12. Oh, 9.
5.
3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. So 9 plus 16 is what? 25, right? So it's square root of 5. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equal to 5 squared. Those are perfect Pythagorean triplet. This is one of major test one. So you don't even have to do calculation. So you gotta make sure 5, the longest distance is the hypotenuse. There was another one, it's a 5, 12, 13. And this is gonna come in handy if you understand all those. 7, 24, 25. So with your last one, it has to be hypotenuse. All those are hypotenuse. And the other one doesn't matter which side is it, but it's gonna be 7 squared plus 24 squared equal 25 squared. And this is the most common one. And this is called Pythagorean triplets. Okay? So, and then when you see those, when you see the things 5 and 3 here, it's probably the middle part is gonna be 4. So this is a Pythagorean triplet. What else? Well, that's the first part. Second part is a special triangle. Special triangle. Now this one I'm not gonna do anything today, but I'm gonna introduce it a little bit later. Triangle. Special triangle, there's two kinds. There's a 30, 60, 90, and we're gonna talk about it next week. And there's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So there are two different kind of triangle. Their ratio is 1 square root of 3 and 2. And this is a 1 square root of 2. Okay, so those are the two separate special right triangle. So this is a triangle, right triangle. All those are right triangle. So those are the two things that you need to know as far as the right triangle goes. The last one could be applied to all triangle. That's on SAT as well. So this is on SAT, this is on SAT, and we're going to talk about how this question presented. Okay? The last one here is the third one. It's called triangle inequality. Do you guys remember that? Triangle inequality. Remember I used the chopstick, I break a piece. I say, can you form this triangle with this? Do you remember that?
Yes.
What is it?
See, it has to be like slightly bigger than.
It had to be, the two shorter side has to be bigger than the longer side.
Wait. Don't two of the sides equal one of the sides?
No, they
Wait,
cannot
then
equal. They have to be greater.
Then how many chopsticks did you use?
I use one pair of chopstick. So I use one line, so I don't have any chopstick here. I can show you.
No, like didn't you use like two chopsticks and you like left one by itself and then you used the other one?
Yeah, I have one chopstick here. So this is one pair of chopstick, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you break it.
So I'm gonna break one piece. Ow, I just have some. Okay, so can you form a triangle? Can you form a triangle out of a pair of chopsticks?
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but not in this way. There is no way for you to form a triangle because if I try to form a triangle, there's no way. I cannot form a triangle. This two side has to be greater than the third side. So if I were to have this, if I would take this chopstick and this one, and if I have this one here, now I can enough to build a triangle. So I can lift this up a little bit. I can lift up this a little bit again, and like this way, and I can form a triangle. But this two length, the two length has to be longer than the longest one. Okay, the two shorter length has to be longer than the longest side. So what am I trying to say is a right math equation probably makes sense. It says A plus B,
It's
so two shorter length
greater than.
the C. This is the longest length. Okay, so this is the basic information that you need to know for SAT. SAT, they give you like 5 choices. Which one can form a triangle? Which one cannot? And you guys just add the two short side and see if it's greater than the third side. Then you can form a triangle. Does that make sense? Okay. Reach, put your computer away. Should you also look at your computer? Okay. So now we're gonna go into trigonometry. This is a SAT topic. That could be anything on there. We can show you what SAT topics look like, but let's start with this one. Let's start with two triangle here. We're gonna start with two right triangle here. And we're gonna say this is a right triangle, and we're gonna have a data here for the first one, and we're gonna have a data for here for the second one. Pay attention. This is what your old teacher in the past probably didn't really stress this part and just get really confused. If they did, you probably more likely forget them. But it's really dependent on where the data location is. Your data is located here, then the question is completely different. The data is located right here, it's completely different. But this one is preferred. This is called preferred. I will call it preferred situation. I like the data on the bottom, that's just me. But sometimes the question, the data is on the top. Then you say, oh, no, question is on the top. So then you have to redefine everything. So if the data is right here, we gotta decide this side, the name for those sides. Whatever across for 90 degree is what?
Height.
Right? Whatever biggest angle, the 90 degree, that has 90 degree in triangle, is 90 is the biggest one. So this one is called a hypotenuse. Whatever facing 90 degree is always hypotenuse. There is no way hypotenuse is here, there is no way hypotenuse is here. Now we're gonna say, what is this side? This side is called what? There's a name for it.
Adjacent.
Adjacent, what else? Constant, what else?
Tangent?
Tangent, what else?
Opposite side?
What is it?
Opposite.
opposite. So we're gonna call it OPP. OPP stands for opposite. How to spell opposite?
OPPSITE.
OPPOSITE.
Opposite.
OPPO.
Opposite.
It's OPPO.
Okay.
Opposite.
Opposite. Okay, whatever. So opposite to the angle. So it's opposite to the angle. So that's what we call the opposite. Opposite, that means I'm opposite to Sohcahtoa. Like me and Sohcahtoa is opposite to each other. So this is opposite. So we stand for OPP. So opposite. Okay? Now this side is opposite. Now this side is not opposite. It's called adjacent. Adjacent in English is next. I'm next to the data. So this is adjacent.
What's it in Chinese?
I don't know. Next to the data. This is a next to. Next to. Okay, next to data. So this is next. So now what makes this side? This side is adjacent or hypotenuse?
Opposite. Oh wait.
Wait,
Adjacent.
no, you put
Wait, no.
that's opposite.
It's opposite or adjacent?
I'll say
Opposite.
Or it's hypotenuse?
No,
Yeah,
adjacent.
hypotenuse.
I'll say
That
adjacent.
one's easier.
It's Jason.
Adjacent.
Opposite.
It's opposite of this angle. This is the data now.
Oh.
So it really depends on where the data location is. The data is right here. Then this is opposite from the data. So this is opposite. This is always hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. Because this is next to the data. Next. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, if you understand this part, then everything else is gonna kind of fall in together. Now, we're gonna show you what the equations are. So we're gonna show you the name. What are the name of trigonometry function? I'm gonna write this longhand first. I'm gonna write sine, and we call it sin. Well, usually we're gonna write this what we know, which is trig. This is the name. Okay, we call it sine, but this is what we write down. We're gonna write down sin, but as we call it sine. Something wrong?
No, you're good.
Okay, and cosine is gonna be cos. Tangent is gonna be tan. Okay, so those are the names. Those are the names. They actually have a name called tau. It's actually 2 pi is called 1 tau. T-A-O. Okay?
Sounds Chinese.
It does sound like Chinese. But sine is sine, cosine is this way, tangent is this way. Now there's the other side of the function. This one that we see when we take geometry. We never see the other side of the function. There was a name for those. If you start with an S, okay, if you start with an S, just think about the other side is gonna be C. If you start with a C, you're gonna end up with S. Okay, so think about Counter-Strike. There's a game called CS, right?
Mhm.
Counter-Strike, right?
Go.
CSGO or whatever.
I hate that game.
CS. So think about CS or SC. It's this way. It's always inverted. Now this one's gonna be the cosecant. C-O-S-E-C-A-N-T. Cosecant. So it stands for CSC. And you cannot really say that. If you say that, it's gonna be but doesn't make sense. So it's rather called a cosecant. This one's S, so it's S-E-A-N-T. Cosecant, so it's gonna be S-E-C.
Sec.
Sec. And you don't wanna say it. Not much.
Oh.
Well,
Cotangent is gonna be cot. Okay? But we call it cotangent. I call it cotangent. So those are the names. Okay? But what does the name mean? This means there is a Sohcahtoa here. This is what you always know in the teacher, in the geometry. They always say, oh, Sohcahtoa, Sohcahtoa. But what are they stand for? They stand for ratios. They stand for, it starts with a sine of an angle. So this is an angle, right? It's equal to a ratio of the side. Which side? Well, this one kind of told me a too cruel. This one's opposite over hypotenuse. So you see that OH, SOH, that's SOH right there.
Oh, that's.
So, that's a so. But what is this? This is a ratio of the size. Ratio. Ratio of an angle. Sine of an angle equal to a ratio. The ratio is going to be a number. Some type of number over a number. Cosine is going to be what? What do you think cosine is going to be?
Adjacent over hypotenuse.
Adjacent over hypotenuse. Good. Because Sohcahtoa tangent is going to be what?
Opposite operation.
Opposite over adjacent, right? Am I going too fast? Okay, so are we okay here? Now there's the opposite function. The opposite function is, if you start with the S, what's the other side? S, C, right? S, C, so it'll be cosecant. CSC is equal to what? Well, it's going to be opposite of the sign. Opposite. Opposite as a reciprocal. It's not opposite, it's a reciprocal. So it's going to be what? If I flip, what am I going to get? Hypotenuse over what? Opposite. And then if I switch this, it's going to be secant is equal to what? Hypotenuse over adjacent. And the last one is going to be cotangent, adjacent over hypotenuse. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, adjacent over hypotenuse. Opposite. Thank you. Who told me that? Good job. 10 points for you.
Hold up.
No, I'm just kidding. Point doesn't matter. Okay, are we okay here? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try a question that revolves this. We're gonna find out all 6 trig data. And those trig data we're gonna give it to you. So you want the easy or hard questions?
I didn't even say anything, right? So.
Easy.
Easy, or you don't want to challenge yourself to be better questions?
We can start with
Okay, let's start with the easy. Are you moving it to there?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the easy. The easy is going to give you this questions here. I'm going to give you a triangle here. Okay, and this is a right triangle. I'm going to give you a length here. This is a right triangle. I'm going to give you a length that says 5. And this is a 13. And I'm not going to give you a length. I'm going to give you, this is the data. This is how I'm assigning the data here. Can you find the 6 trig ratio? Can you find the 6 trig ratio? So that means sine of theta is equal to something, cosine of theta, you don't know what the data is, you don't care about what the data is, you just need to care about what is the ratio.
I think I know what you mean.
The 6 trigs.
Yeah, the 6 things right here, yes, those are 6 things here. So 6 of some sine of something is equal to something. Cosine of something equal to something, tangent of something equal to something.
Wait, what? Do you write all 6 down?
Yeah, you're gonna write down sine theta is equal to something, cosine theta equal to something, tangent theta equal to something, and the cosecant of theta equal to something, secant theta equal to something, cotangent theta equal to something. You can use a reference here. All the things that you need is over there. So you might need to find one more information out of this triangle, by the way.
Might, all mean, should, or need.
Need, should, have to. Okay.
Mister, do you have the answer in decimals?
I have the, no, don't you do it in decimal. You don't use calculator, you use just yes,
I guess some more.
Oh, just a fraction?
over there. Can you finish this problem and go? Okay, yeah, let's finish this problem because we can like, at least like, this is the information you need to know for the homework and stuff.
Do you want us to write the fraction?
Yeah, So it could be 4 over 5. Could be, I don't know, 13 over 12. I don't know. But you have to write down which trig functions match to which one though.
That's easy. That looks good.
By the way, you need one more information, right? One more things, right?
Yeah.
Lenny, come on.
Yeah. Good.
Lenny, come on, 6 trig ratio. Come on, let's go.
How do you find the last part?
How do you find the last part? Good. Is this the right triangle?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we have?
13, 5, 12.
So you squared the 5 and you squared the 13.
Oh, it's. I got you now, bud.
It's a Pythagorean triplet, yes.
So actually, yeah, the trick.
You don't even have to do the work. That's a nice thing. But most of the time you should do the work. Because I will do the work, right?
This work?
This is not work, this is not too much, this is easy work, right?
I don't know.
So 13 is equal to what? 13 is the hypotenuse, right? So it's a C, right?
Okay, that's easy. I don't have it.
13 squared, right? Do we know this side?
No.
No, we're gonna call that A. Okay, so it'll be A squared plus a B squared. B squared is 5. Can I solve for A?
Yes.
Okay, can you solve it?
7.
13 squared minus
144.
Yeah, 13 squared minus 9 squared, so it'll be A squared is equal to 13 squared minus 5 squared, which is 13 squared is what?
169.
How about 5 squared?
25.
How about that's equal to 144? Is A squared, so which square root is
11.
Oh.
You can use the triplets, like I did all the
so did you see this triplet right here? The hypotenuse 13, so automatic qualify for the 1 could possibly be one of the triplets. So we can try to see if this one's, they already give you a 13, then the other answer is gonna be 12. Okay? So now the rest of the part is the easy part. Sine of theta is equal to what?
5 over 13.
5 over 13, because this one's an opposite, right? Label it.
Take the opposite, then you win.
This one's adjacent. Label it. That way you got 5 over 13. You got 1 point. Cosine of theta is going to be what?
12, 13.
12 over 13. You got another point. Tangent of theta,
5
5 over
5 over 12. You got another point. It's an easy point. I'm telling you, the calculation here is so much easier than before.
13, 5.
Anybody can do it. If you struggle the first 2 quarters, I think anybody can do this part. Okay, tangent, cotangent. No. What's the other side of secant?
COC.
CSC, right?
Yeah.
COC.
13 over 5. That's another point.
Sec.
Secant. And
13 over 12.
13 over what?
12.
12. What is cotangent?
12 over 5.
12 over 5. That's so easy, right?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna change it a little bit harder. Okay,
Here we go.
you had to simplify your radicals. You had to rationalize your
Wait,
radicals.
radicals?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah,
Burr.
okay.
Okay, you had to simplify your radical and do other things with radicals. So let's figure out what the third side is. So you go ahead. I'll let you have first step. I want you to figure out what the side. Well, first of all, what's the name of the side? What's the 3 is equal to?
Hypotenuse.
Opposite?
Pretty much
Yeah,
regionalized.
hypotenuse.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so what is this equal to?
Opposite,
Adjacent.
adjacent.
And what is that equal to?
Opposite.
Okay, what's the opposite equal to?
Wait.
You gotta simplify your radicals.
What radical?
Don't worry, it gets better from here.
Oh, I know what opposite equals.
1, 3. 1, 3 here. That was 10. Here we go. Opposite, okay.
What?
The first are easy.
Lenny, I need you to do this problem. Come on, let's go. Why are you always sleepy? Come Monday,
That's so
I didn't do the
weird.
homework because I didn't know how to do it.
Sure. I just gotta.
There's a video now.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
now, I know that was
That's easy, man. You gotta do it now, later.
Can you use a calculator?
You cannot use calculator here.
This one's actually kind of easy when you think about it.
You can simplify radicals. So let's try it. What you guys get?
We're not done yet.
What you get for the opposite?
B squared is gonna be like 8. Like,
2 square root 2 over
2 square root 2. Good. So guys, this one is 1, right? Plus, we're gonna call this A is equal to what? So can I solve for it?
oh.
Minus 1, so it'll be A squared equal to 9 minus 1.
Sir, you're fine. You put A instead of B.
That's good, doesn't matter.
Okay.
So A squared is equal to 8. Now A is equal to square root of 8. This one, how to simplify? Look, there's a trap house. Those of you guys don't know what a trap house method is, I call it trap house.
You gotta learn it.
You haven't lived to see if
You had to take a group of 2 outside, it's gonna be 2 group of 2. And then you should be able to finish all the things, all the ratios, and we can finish all that. I'll write down all the ratio for you. Sine of theta is equal to 2 square root 2, so it'll be 2 square root 2 over 1. Cosine of theta is what? 1 over 3. Okay?
Ready to go?
And the tangent of theta is what? 2 square root 2 over 1. And the other one is inverted. You're doing good. See, it's not hard, right? Secant.
Okay, how do you remember those, like,
Cosecant.
No. Like I'm saying it like CS. Because you know how for like here you have Sohcahtoa, but what do you have for these?
There's no, nothing. You just have to know.
use them on the cup.
Seno, coseno, tangente, cosecante, secante, cotangente.
How many questions?
How many questions good? It's 8. And you have 25 minutes. So that's a plenty of time.